It goes without saying that by the time many of you see this, everything that I'm talking about will have changed, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But as of the very beginning of the market today, at 640 in California, gold, the dollar, treasuries, and Bitcoin are looking like flights to safety. A rotation out of tech and into value stocks is kind of the same thing. If that's what's going on, that's what it kind of looks like. I'm going to name this, however, a slightly different thing. I think it's a flight to capture potential gains in assets that have not yet participated in the massive asset gains of the past 3 years, with housing and the Mag 7 getting most of the benefit. There's lots and lots of cash and wealth looking for the next best place to be. Of course, I think Tesla should be in that group that's going to get the participation in that. The Cybertruck is just one more reason why folks should be moving money into Tesla. We'll see. Tesla and Apple opened in the green this morning when everything else was in the red, which is just an interesting way that the market started. But the last time I checked, Tesla and Apple were still in the green, and a couple of the other Mag 7s were joining them, which may mean that possibly the sell-off in the Mag 7 has gone a little further than it should have. Anyway, this is Randy Kirk. You know what to do. It's the like button. Yeah, there you go. The like button. Don't forget to do that. And then hit subscribe. By the way, you guys are great at that. Let me just say, I thank you so much. The like button gets hit a lot every day. All right. And then hit subscribe, hit notify. We've got Brian White coming up again later this morning. Great show with Brian yesterday. Well, the one today, I would say probably even better than yesterday. And then you've want to hit Patreon. A little slowdown in the membership situation on Patreon the last 2 or 3 days. Had a really, really good last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then not so much. Okay, so time to join Patreon so you can get a free look at this camo site. Is that cool or what? Huge magnet on the back. By the way, these numbers were huge yesterday. Lots and lots of orders as we're there. We're at Christmas now. It's time to make your move. I've got the inventory came in yesterday, so I'm shipping ASAP. Soon as your order comes in, it's going to be right back out the door, so you'll have it in plenty of time for Christmas. So place your orders today. You know this. You know the drill. 25 for 1, 45 for 2, 65 for 3, and make sure that you let me know whether you want the camo or whether you want the regular stainless steel. And then if you're outside the United States, please add $20. Send the money to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lower cap. Anyway, down below, you'll see all the same information. All right. Contrary to most headlines this morning, thinking that the equity markets are lower because of nervousness about the employment numbers later this week, I don't think so. I think basically equities have enjoyed a massive run up in November, and this is folks taking profit and redeploying them in bonds, Bitcoin, and gold. Just seems pretty obvious to me. Maybe it doesn't to you, but that's what it looks like to me. All right. Sawyer Merritt says this morning that 17,400 Teslas were insured in China last week. That's up 35% year over year. That's according to the Chinese party something, I forget, CPCA. Anyway, good numbers, excellent numbers. Seems like we're on a pretty solid track for a record for the fourth quarter in terms of overall production in China. And therefore, we should be, easily going to hit the 1.8 million units for the year that Tesla projected at the very beginning of the year. How did they know? I don't know. Anyway, we're getting a lot of new information about the nature of truck use all of a sudden. I wonder why we didn't know this before. Only a very small number of truck drivers in the U.S., when I say truck drivers, pickup truck drivers in the U.S. ever use the truck to tow. The trucks aren't even used very much for hauling anything other than hobby materials. And then they're used a lot for camping. So the truth is, most trucks in the U.S. are a lifestyle. Having said that, the Cybertruck will be a great work truck also. Jeff Lutz, in a phenomenally cool interview with Herbert yesterday, says, look, you have to know that nobody knows what the throughput is on the Cybertruck right now. Many sections of the factory that were shown by folks that were taking videos last Thursday, these were in demo mode. So the same engine part was being, mounted and then unmounted and then mounted and then unmounted. It was in a loop, okay? And so you could draw some conclusions about the speed of those operations, but you could not draw any conclusions about the speed of the entire line. So we won't know for a few weeks. Again, I mentioned yesterday, we got to be, tamp down the enthusiasm. We'll see what Joe Tegmeyer is saying. And in fact, there'll be a lot from Joe in the conversation with Brian White later today. You want to see that video. Now, the more I learn about the Cybertruck, the more amazing it gets. Do you know that the windshield wiper contains the window washer spray jets? So it comes out of there, not out of a special spray mounted in the hood or something. And then the button to open the door on the outside of the car, that is an actual physical button. And once you press it, it opens the door with enough force to break through an inch of ice. Think about breaking through an inch. That's absolutely incredible. The manufacturing sector this morning, buoyed by a jump in the spending on goods in the third quarter, is increasingly feeling the strain of higher interest rates and adds to signs that the economy will be more meaningfully slowing in the fourth quarter. The sector accounts for 11.1% of the economy. So this is like old news, right? So these are what's happening last month, and it's talking about higher interest rates. Well, the interest rates are dropping like a rock. So it's a little too early to tell how badly this is going to impact. But orders for durable goods fell 5.4%, with orders for transportation equipment slumping 14.7%. Machinery orders decreased 0.3%. Electrical equipment, appliances, and component orders fell 1.1%, and manufacturing non-durables declined 1.9%. This is a very huge decrease in a lot of these categories. Shipments of manufactured goods fell 1.4%. Manufactured goods inventories edged up 0.1%, while unfilled orders rose 0.3%. Well, here's what I got to say about this. This might be the result of companies believing that Christmas is going to be soft. That's what we've been told. Christmas is going to be soft. Christmas is going to be soft. The economy is going to soften up. We've had this big third quarter. Things are going to, I think we're going to come down from that huge third quarter. But let's just say that Christmas is up 5% or so. And a lot of the early indications would be, it's probably going to be okay. Well, then January will need a big surge in orders in manufacturing, because there's not going to be any inventory left. So we've also seen inventories being light in some of the reporting over the last couple of weeks. So looks like maybe the first quarter will begin to see some slight shift up, maybe in overall in the overall situation. Now, I promised you guys a review of the commodities. Let's start with lithium. Well, lithium has returned almost to normal trading range. I mean, very close to the normal trading range after a huge run-up. It is down 82% from the highs. So it went crazy nuts, and now it's dropped back down. This is kind of like the overall situation that we've been going through the last couple of years. Well, that drop brings it back to this normal trading range. Long term, lithium should be moving higher again. There is not going to be enough lithium about 2 years from now. So by 2025, we should see that lithium going back up. Obviously, this lithium dropping like that is going to affect battery prices, and that's good news for Tesla and good news for EVs. All right, grain prices now have been walloped this year thanks to a great U.S. harvest, particularly corn. And there's better than expected global grain supplies. So a Bloomberg gauge of near-term future contracts for soybeans, corn, and wheat has stumbled more than 20% this year and is on track for its worst slump in a decade. So that is going to impact inflation. This is a huge, huge number in terms of inflation. Silver, copper, lithium, other metals are lower this morning, but have been generally low. Gold continues to flirt with all-time highs and is up this morning in early trading, although down from its peak the other day when it did break through into all-time highs. But most of the metals are down. The dollar has rebounded. 30-year bonds, of course, are up strongly, and equities this morning were trading slightly lower, as I mentioned earlier. So let's take a look at where the markets are now. Okay, let us start with Tesla, continuing to be in the green, up $2, Apple up $3. But now the rest of the Mag 7 is a little mixed. NVIDIA's up, Amazon's up, Google's up, Meta and Microsoft are down. So we got a mixed situation in the big seven, the Magnificent Seven, as they're called. The Dow now is down 149 points. NASDAQ is only down 11, and the S&P down 13. So, okay, we've had 5 days of this kind of sell off the Magnificent Seven, and the Dow has been the leader, the NASDAQ follower. So we might be seeing, whenever anything goes too far in one direction, you're going to see a correction. Does this mean that we're no longer going to have this kind of a sell the tech stocks and get into the value stocks going on in the future? It's always hard to know. I would say, I would consider, my thinking is that we will continue to see this rotation. That doesn't mean the as I've said this over and over again, Larry said it last night, I don't think we're going to see a bad news for the Mag 7 or for the tech stocks. What we're going to see is a better news for the value stocks over the medium term, the short to medium term. That's what I think. I could be completely wrong. You guys like to hear these numbers sometimes in percentages. So the Dow is down 0.39. The NASDAQ is down 0.06. The S&P is down 0.27. Tesla is up 0.67. With Apple strong this morning, there must be some news, up 1.69. The Cathie Woods were all down this morning, and they continue to be down pretty much across the board in pretty significant amounts. So once again, they've been up huge. So now there's some profit taking in that sector. All right, let's go and take a look at these other numbers. We have got the 10-year down 7 basis points all the way down to 4.216 this morning, below my number, my 4.25 number. We'll see where that's going to go. The 2-year is only down 0.25, 2.5 basis points, and the 2-month is not even down 1 basis point this morning. So the inversion is broadening again. Again, this is just so funny. And nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody's talking about the inversion. There's no headlines. There's no conversation. I haven't seen one article. I haven't seen one. Nobody's talking about the inversion anymore except me, because this is interesting. And this shows the uniqueness of this time period that we're in. There's something going on here. You know what I think it is. I've talked about it before, but it continues to happen, and everybody stopped talking about it because they don't get it. I think they got no clue, and so they stopped talking about it. All right, let's go and take a look at these other numbers. We have got the Bitcoin up this morning, 42169. So it is strong this morning. We've got the dollar still. It's actually had a rebound over its drops last week. It's been strong for the last few days. We have got gold only up $1.20 this morning, sitting at 2,041. It's about 100 points or close to 100 points off its all-time high, but still way up there, very strong this morning. Oil up 76 cents, but really basically down, sitting at about $74. We have got the bonds. We just went through that. Okay, and taking another look at Tesla for fun. So Tesla is still up 1% this morning, up $2.40. All right, let's see. Here's the things you want to remember. Number one, let's start with yesterday's Brian White video. card right here. You want to see that video? Lots of breaking news in there, stuff that people are still not talking about that Brian brought up in that video yesterday. We've got the Larry Goldberg last night. Very excellent time with Larry. There's the card for that. And those might be in reverse order. I haven't ever figured that out. Okay. But the cards will be there. All right. You also are going to want to listen to Brian's video later today. Unbelievably cool stuff. Way cutting edge stuff that nobody else is. Again, breaking news today with Brian. And then that's it. Okay. Then you're going to want to join Patreon. Remember to do that. If you join at the $5 level, you get one audiobook. If you join at the $10 level, you get 2 audiobooks, or not or you get one of these amazing $25 Cybertrucks, either in the camo or in the stainless. I went through all the numbers just a minute ago, so I'm not going to do it again. Look in the information below. It's time to order these in order to make sure, 100% sure, that you get the 1, 3, 5, 10, or 20 that you need to buy for folks for Christmas. Okay, so make sure you do that. And is there anything else I need to tell you? I can't think of anything else. So we'll look one last time at Tesla. It is now headed back up again. It did a little of this, and now it's going that way. Who knows where it'll end up today, but it's up right now, 1.12%. So there you go. That's all I got. It's been fun and amazing talking to you.